What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're playing Domination on Havana, and I gotta say, Havana is not my favorite map. I usually don't get very good scores on this map, but in this game I managed to get a very good score. But I started off this match kind of incorrectly, so it does get better. And as you can see here, I'm using the FAMAS. And as always, the FAMAS is the best. And I'm always using extended mags in this weapon, usually because it's just the best equipment or attachment to this weapon, due to the fact that the FAMAS is such a strong weapon that you don't even need suppressor or any other you know equipment that like the red dot sight. And that's where the extended mags is so good, because I mean, you gotta have one attachment, because it does make the weapon better. So I thought, why not choose the extended mags, because this weapon is already so good. So I mean, putting the suppressor on would only make it weaker. And overall, I gotta say, suppressor on this game really does make weapons a whole lot worse. I think they made the suppressors very realistic, because in real life, when you put a suppressor on a gun, it does get quite kind of worse. It doesn't do as much damage. Now that was one thing that didn't really show on Modern Warfare 2, because in Modern Warfare 2 you could pretty much have the silencer on the Scar H and it would be much better. But in this game, it's totally different. Now, I shouldn't have walked in there, because I should have known that, or guessed at least, that there was a claymore in there, and still I just went in. I should have at least flashbanged or something. So that was kind of stupid. Whenever you walk through a door that you kind of suspect is going to contain enemies, you should always watch it. And if you have a flashbang, as I always carry, use that, because that kind of it kind of disturbs the claymore, so it won't detonate when you trip it. And I'm getting flashbang here, and watch this, guys. I put a claymore and still he survives, and I just knife him. And I'm also having the Semtex. Now that was one thing I didn't use in the beginning. I was using the frag a lot before, but I noticed that the Semtex was a whole lot more useful in combat situations, because with the frag, if you really just want to throw a quick explosive something in the air and you have the frag on, you have to wait. You have to hold it in your hand and then wait a couple of seconds till you throw it to make it explode instantly when it hits the ground. But with the Semtex, you can just quickly just throw it, and it detonates, or it explodes automatically. So that's kind of the story of why I'm using the Semtex. And as you can see here, I'm trying to get behind my enemies, and I do that quite well. I take these two guys out, and I know that I gotta watch myself, because I'm pretty close to where the enemies are spawning. And when you are pretty close to the spawning place of your enemies, you should try and find cover, because you don't. The last thing you want to do is get in front of the spawning place, trying to shoot down enemies in the front, and then get killed from behind by people spawning. So that's just one thing to keep in mind. And it was just so funny, because I managed to get so much behind these guys, and got a pretty good streak here. I got my chopper gunner. Now the chopper gunner in this game is really good. If you can get your chopper gunner, and you know how to really just spawn kill your enemies, and especially on Domination, you have a very good advantage, and you have a very good chance of getting lots of kills. And the dogs, they are the best 11th kill streak. The gunship is not really that good. I think that's due to the fact that you can actually shoot down the gunship with the launchers, but you can't do that with the dogs, of course, because it's not a helicopter. But you can still kill the dogs, and I do that as a hobby in this game. So whenever like an enemy spawns dogs, I just spray them down. And if I have a shotgun, it has to be the SPAS 12. Then it makes it easier. And I'm still walking around with the chopper because what I like to do when I have the mortar strike and chopper gunner and oh yeah, dogs. And so what I like to do when I have this kill streak setup, I wait till each kill streak has done its job till I spawn the next one. In that way, I tend to get a lot of more kills. Cause imagine if I spawn the dogs and then immediately went on my chopper gunner, then people would be less killed, so to say. Cause so that's just like a short trick that or tactic that I use when I get on my kill streak. And the people are pretty much hiding in the buildings here, but I was able to kind of slowly kill the people and spawn kill them, even though they were in cover from the buildings. And as you can see here, the chopper gunner in contrast to the chopper gunner in Modern Warfare 2 really shows all the enemies and constantly. So that was something it didn't do on Modern Warfare 2. In Modern Warfare 2, you could only see people in like red squares if they'd been on the map or outside of on the map for a long time. But in this map, the moment they spawn, you can see them, and that of course gives you an advantage if you're the gunner on the chopper gunner, because then you can easily spawn kill. Yes, and I'm really just trying to get on a second streak here, because oh man, I get killed a couple of times here, but I get on my second streak soon, and there I just go bananas with the pythons. Now I gotta say, the pythons with dual wield is a really strong secondary setup. In my opinion, the best secondary setup. I'm not such of a launcher guy. I tend to go with the pistols, and I mean, one thing I've noticed with the pistols is that if you wanna really have a strong secondary setup, you can't go with the normal guns. You either gotta have the pythons and then dual wield on to get the most of it, or the most out of the python. And again, I'm using the same route here because I want to get behind my enemies. Oh shit! And I get killed there. Ha. I'm actually gonna post some like new games soon, because one thing I've noticed is that I'm using the same perks and the same gun a lot. So to make games a bit more interesting, I'm gonna post some new gameplay with some new weapons and some new setups. But I mean, it is difficult because enemies, I mean, players in general tend to go with pretty conservative setups. So they stick to the reliable guns in this game when they level up and stuff. And that's what happens when a game just released, because people really want to level up, and they haven't leveled up yet. So they pretty much go with the strongest weapon to kill as many as they can. And that way, it makes it difficult for us people who are trying to, experiment a bit. So that's just a short explanation to why I go so much with the FAMAS, because it's the best. And I don't know what I was doing there. I don't know, going to the toilet, eating, I don't know. But I come back, and then I get on my streak, and I noticed that the game soon ended, so I gotta hurry up. And the funny thing is that when you come back to your gameplay, like you've thrown away your controller and you come back and you take the controller in your hand, by accident you always hit the grenade button. So I always tend to throw a grenade whenever I've been AFK and then come back. So this is just like a kind of annoying thing on PS3, because you don't want to do that. You don't want to commit suicide, especially if you have a sticky bomb and you're against the wall. And imagine if you were to accidentally throw that grenade onto the wall, and you would just die. And this place is not such a favorite hiding place, in my opinion, because if you go on the balcony, people can pretty much shoot you, because it's pretty open. there's no protection at all, so people can just shoot you. And here I just go banana because I think I was very impatient. I knew that I had to get my kills pretty quickly if I was to get on a second streak. And as you can see here, I go completely banana here, and I get a double kill. I get my chopper, and I don't know why I went on my chopper and didn't continue my kill streak in order to get the dogs. But I figured that there was such little time that either I was gonna wait for the dogs and not be able to kill a lot of people. So I chose to go with the chopper and play safe. And again, the enemies are really just hiding in the buildings, and that's pretty smart. I mean, that's naturally what the enemies are gonna do. They're gonna hide in the buildings and then wait till it's all over, or either somebody's gonna peek out with his little launcher and you know, kill. And I managed to luckily get the last kills. So that, guys, was just a short game. It went a bit up and down. I wasn't always doing what I should have been doing, but I hope you guys liked it. And yeah, guys, take care and see ya.